Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Imran Riaz Khan to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Imran Riaz Khan's words. A disastrous flood situation has developed in Punjab. There are 3 rivers in Punjab where a large amount of water has come, and this water has entered Pakistan from Indian territory. 2 of these rivers, according to the Sindh-Tas agreement, hold water that is India's right. India has the right to stop this water. India can build dams and block the flow of water. So, India has released water from these rivers, which it was allowed to do. It is India's right to block the water, but it was not bound by any agreement to not release the water. Yes, India would notify Pakistan whenever it released water, which is exactly what happened in some places. It's not that India didn't notify Pakistan or kept them in the dark. But these rains were sudden, and the amount of rain was excessive, even though predictions about these rains were available in advance. I distinctly remember, on the 19th, Mr. Abbas in the Assembly mentioned that there was a flood situation developing. According to their prediction, by September 1st, Punjab and Sindh would be flooded, and the situation would worsen significantly. The government needed to take action and focus on the situation. So the idea of this situation was known. The meteorological department had been working on forecasts that suggested there would be unexpected rainfall and rapid storms, which would result in water flowing downstream. Now, the water is flowing down from Kashmir, and the water entering Pakistan from India's side has caused massive destruction, whether in Sargodha, Kasur or many villages. There are hundreds of villages that have been submerged, and the crops in these areas have been completely destroyed. This entire region is Punjab's food basket. If I tell you that even Bhavnagar has been submerged, it is correct to say that many villages there have been flooded and their crops have been ruined. Farmers' tube wells have been destroyed and their standing crops are now flooded. The machinery, which is very valuable to farmers, has been destroyed. There has been significant loss to livestock. Countless cattle have been seen floating in the rivers, and many carcasses have been found floating. Each of these animals is worth millions, but the loss to them is devastating. The Ravi River, after a long time, has seen this level of flooding. To complete the water flow in the Ravi, we used to bring water from the Chenab River. However, when India released water in the Ravi, it began to flow below, starting from Narwal and heading towards Sialkot, then to Kasur, Lahore, and eventually heading towards the Sindh region. The situation in Chenab is the most challenging. Now the water in Chenab is completely Pakistan's right, and India has no right to block this water. The situation would have been different if India hadn't blocked the water, but they did, which resulted in massive water influx into Pakistan when they suddenly opened the gates of the dam, causing unexpected large amounts of water to flow into the country. So far, the submerged areas include Sialkot, Wazirabad, Kasur, Pakpatan, Mandi Bahauddin and, well, many others. To save Hadakadrabad from breaking, blasts were carried out at 2 locations, and the water was released towards Mandi Bahauddin, which unfortunately resulted in crop damage. However, this was necessary to protect Hadakadrabad. This is the damage we've seen so far. Bhavnagar is also submerged, and farmers have lost their machinery, crops and livestock. The loss is in billions of rupees. The big question is, will this damage be compensated? Historically, such losses haven't been compensated, especially for farmers or the rural poor. In some places like Lahore, there was some activity from the administration, but in rural Punjab, 90% of the affected people have been left alone. No one visited them, no alerts were issued, and no announcements were made in mosques about what would happen. Suddenly, the floodwaters arrived, and people had to flee with their livestock and valuables. Many people have been evacuated from their homes, but there was no preparation or help from authorities. Because of this lack of preemptive action, the loss of livestock is, in my opinion, the most significant damage. The damage to crops is the biggest loss. The farmers' entire investment in standing crops is lost, along with their machinery, and repairing it later costs them a lot of money. In different areas, farmers have suffered billions of rupees in damage, but the government has never fully compensated for such losses. Some assistance was offered in Lahore and a couple of other cities, but no real help was provided to the rural areas. It was only when TikTok videos were made that people saw some activity. There's another issue. India had created a flood barrier along the border between India and Pakistan. Pakistan opposed it, but India built it anyway, fearing increased interaction between the two Punjabs. This barrier has now been submerged in floodwaters as well, with up to 13 to 15 feet of water in some areas. Another concern is that Pakistan does not have the infrastructure to store excess water, as it needs more dams. Unfortunately, Pakistan has not built the required dams. In Imran Khan's 3 years, no major dams were constructed, although he initiated many dam projects. However, the process of building a dam takes 10 to 15 years. And during the time Imran Khan was in office, he had only 3 years, plus the COVID-19 pandemic, which took another year. Despite these challenges, he started many water storage projects in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Punjab. But as you know, other events hindered these efforts. Today, Pakistan only has the Tabela and Mangla dams. We need large dams, but why didn't we build them? The answer lies in the money generated by independent power producers, or IPPs. These IPPs, which are power plants that generate electricity for rent, receive substantial payments from the government, and this money is not used to build dams. The electricity produced by IPPs is extremely expensive in Pakistan. Consumers pay 3 to 4 times more than what they should for each unit of electricity, and still, Pakistan is paying additional money for unused power. The commissions generated by IPPs are enormous. Politicians, bureaucrats and officials all take their cut. If Pakistan had focused on building dams instead, this vast amount of money would have been invested in those projects, benefiting the country greatly. Large-scale dams like Kalabakh, which could have been constructed, would have irrigated millions of acres of barren land and safeguarded Pakistan from future floods. But unfortunately, these were never built due to corruption and vested interests. In conclusion, the real issue is not just the flood damage, but the systemic failure to address water storage and management in Pakistan, which could have been solved by building large dams. These missed opportunities have cost the country dearly, not just in terms of floods, but in terms of economic growth and national security. They use it later, but Pakistan didn't build this dam either, although this dam wouldn't have been that expensive to construct. Once some technical people came to me, and they briefed me on the whole thing. They said this dam should have been built in Pakistan, and if it had been, the entire Upper Punjab region, along with the Salt Range, would not only be irrigated in the best possible way, but would also prevent major floods for a long period, and Pakistan would benefit for hundreds of years. But that dam wasn't built. Unfortunately, that's Pakistan's fate. Now, where will the flood go, ladies and gentlemen? You should remember this. The flood will ultimately reach the Indus River, and all the water from the rivers will gather in Pakistan's Indus River. So, while the flood can come to Upper Punjab, Sindh will be in severe danger. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto Jr. made a statement saying that people should save themselves. Floods have already come to Punjab. Many areas are submerged. We deeply regret that. But all those who live near Sindh's rivers or in flood-prone areas should protect themselves. They should save their livestock, belongings and evacuate, because a new spell of rain is about to start on August 31st. And even before that, the floodwaters will reach there, so the situation might become out of control. God forbid there should be any harm, but the current signs are that the waters are headed in that direction, and Upper Punjab and Sindh will be at extreme risk. A statement by Zulfikar Ali Bhutto Jr. came, and he said, "People must protect themselves. Floods have reached Punjab. Many areas have been submerged. We regret that deeply. But those living near the rivers in Sindh or flood-prone areas must save themselves, remove their belongings, animals and important goods, because I don't think the Sindh government can help you." When floods occur, the Sindh government usually conducts foreign tours to gather funds, but these funds, no one knows where they go. Just a few days ago, one of the TikTokers posted a video from their house in which Bilawal Bhutto was sitting. Good. They made a video, built a house, good for them, but the question is, how many houses has the Sindh government built? How many people have been resettled? Let's see if the free media goes there to check. They should visit Dadu and the flood-hit areas and ask the people how many homes the government has built. They haven't even constructed 5% of the homes that were destroyed. I'm exaggerating by saying 5%. They haven't built even 5%. The rest of the people had to rebuild themselves. The public does whatever they can. Such massive losses can't be covered entirely by anyone. The government should seriously take steps. They need to increase their activity in areas where the water is rising. They must warn people and help evacuate dangerous areas so people don't fall for false promises and can move their valuable possessions to safer areas. The responsibility is with the government, ladies and gentlemen. They had a job to do, but they haven't done it. Instead, they are insulting the public. Meanwhile, this TikToker, who was on a family tour to Japan and Hong Kong, enjoyed himself there. They took a Pakistan Air Force plane and went on a full family trip with kids, friends and relatives touring Japan and Hong Kong. Meanwhile, children were drowning in Punjab, livestock was drowning, and farmers' crops were destroyed. The TikToker was enjoying his time while the devastation in Punjab was at its peak. They went on a tour and nothing for Pakistan came out of it. They learned nothing from it. They didn't learn about simplicity, humility, rule of law, human rights or public respect. They learned nothing from it, just an enjoyment tour, and now they're back. Now when the media or the public asks them questions, they say, "This was our personal expense. How could we possibly explain?" But government protocol is supposed to be followed, meaning one can't just go on an official trip for enjoyment. The embassy was at their service throughout the trip, yet these people, instead of answering public questions, started insulting people. One TikToker made a bizarre comment about how people are cursing others' mothers and sisters and giving them filthy insults. That's a very unfortunate thing. If someone is holding you accountable, it's not a bad thing. When Hazrat Umar Farooq, may Allah be pleased with him, was questioned about his cloak, he explained that rulers are questioned. He didn't get up and make a random statement. He didn't get some junior to say something disrespectful or curse someone's mother. These TikTokers are sitting and cursing people's mothers. Such rudeness and vulgarity should not be tolerated. The TikTokers who do this are the same ones who once insulted the Pakistan People's Party and now insult the PMLN. Tomorrow they will join another party and do the same. The entire filth has been gathered under PMLN. The establishment did this. They gathered all the filth, put it in one place and showed the people the true faces of those who have ruined Pakistan. These are the same faces that are responsible for Pakistan's downfall. We have gathered them in power for your convenience. Now, if you want to fight, take action against these people, including the establishment. Maryam Nawaz's people, instead of working, are sitting and insulting people's mothers and sisters. The shocking part is that their bureaucrats are saying, suddenly the flood came. We didn't know. I have proof of this and you can see it yourself. The Director General of the Provincial Disaster Management Authority is saying, we didn't know. It came out of nowhere. On the other hand, they're saying, we were prepared. We already had a plan in place. Your preparation? Nobody knew. The people had no idea. They drowned in the floodwaters and the water flooded the cities. Boats were floating in the streets. These are the conditions they have created for Pakistan. Now, Aliyah Hamzazade, who no longer has power, has said that if given a chance, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf will come together and help the people. Let's see whether the military establishment will allow them to do so or not, because the military establishment doesn't let PTI do anything against Israel. Even if they want to do something good, they don't let them. Will they let them help the public or not? They didn't even let them celebrate Independence Day on August 14th. They filed cases against those who raised posters of Quaid-e-Azam and locked them up for terrorism charges. They've done a lot of fraud. Let's see if PTI will be allowed to help people during the flood or not. One question remains. The situation is such that yesterday at 11 p.m, Imran Khan posted a tweet, and just minutes after his tweet, the hearing of the Toshakhana case was postponed in Adiala jail. Why? Because Imran Khan had taken a firm stance. We thought he might apologize, but instead he criticized the army chief. In one tweet he mentioned the army chief's name 9 times, and in another tweet he didn't mention it at all. Can you imagine the position people are in now? The tweet where Imran Khan mentioned the army chief has been retweeted 33,000 times, and the one where he didn't mention the army chief was retweeted 23,000 times. After this they thought, now Imran Khan will escalate things, so they postponed the hearing. The delay in the court session was directly related to the tweet. This is now part of the record. Nobody will be able to escape this. Amin Gandapur hasn't made any serious efforts to meet Imran Khan, and his brother claimed he tried, but he didn't. The serious matter is, he should have tried harder. He should have gone to the Supreme Court, made efforts at every level. Mirza Afridi took a convoy to Lahore, but never made it to Adiala jail. They didn't put any pressure on the authorities. I am sure that if Amin Gandapur wanted to meet Imran Khan, he could have done it in 48 hours. But I don't think he's serious about it. Ali Amin Gandapur isn't serious about meeting Imran Khan. If he was, he would have tried harder. Alima Khan tried for months, got arrested multiple times, faced torture, but she stood firm. She met him. If Ali Amin Gandapur put in even 10% of that effort, he would have met him. But it doesn't seem like he wants to face Imran Khan at this time. But eventually he will have to. Ladies and gentlemen, Junaid Akbar, the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, has also resigned. Others from PTI have resigned from standing committees following Imran Khan's call. This is a significant decision by Imran Khan to give up all the benefits of the system. Junaid Akbar has made some strong statements, especially about the flood situation, and I will share more on this in the next video. That wraps up our translation of Imran Riaz Khan's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.